That's good to hear. I'm plowing snow today. Yeah, it's real cold. It's 5 degrees today. I'm from southeastern South Dakota. I'm not sure what the temp is over in Chicago. Pretty sure it's pretty damn cold in Chicago too, but I couldn't tell you exactly how cold it is. I can tell you it feels pretty damn cold here. Hell, I bet Lower Michigan's pretty cold today too, isn't it? No, I'm just doing this at my house. This isn't my job. This is just where I live. Well, I mean, this thing's from the 40s, so it's about as fuel efficient as you'd think it would be. And I just clean it up every time it you know, every time it snows. Why am I using a cat? Yeah, I probably should have some coffee. You're right. Well, this thing definitely ain't a cat, I'll tell you that. Morning, how are ya? Yeah, I probably could. If I had a lighter plow, I would. Yeah, it's a great sounding engine. You should hear this thing when I'm cutting hay with it. When you get this thing up in heavy grass and you're cutting hay, it really has a great sound when it's working hard. Well, I've got a lot of use out of it in the last couple of weeks, but you know, it usually snows once every couple of weeks here at least, so you're out plowing, you know. It never ends. As soon as you get one thing all cleaned up, something else comes up. That's just the way it is. These tractors from the 40s were built better. This snow on top of the engine case here probably won't melt, you know, to be honest with you. It's melted up around the muffler there, but the rest of it will probably just stay where it's at. This isn't that powerful of a tractor. It's not a big one. That sounds more powerful than it is. powerful as a D6. No, it's an H. Yeah, I'm glad it works good too. Yep. I think it's around noon here. Galveston. This tractor I bought a couple years ago. Good night, buddy. But the tractor, I'll show you one right here. You can see the one right in front of me, right there. That was my grandfather's. That's a Farmall. Or not a Farmall, that's an All-Stromer 17. Great tractor. Yeah, it runs great. I use that as my main rake tractor for, you know, when I do hay. Still got the rake attached to it. I never take it off because I do so much raking with it, you know. Yeah, I got a lot of yard around here. My wife likes me to clean this area off because she drives her car in here and gets stuck all the time. Otherwise, I'd probably just leave it. But, you know, she's the boss, you know. She wants it plowed. You gotta plow it. Hey, how's it going, Ireland? How are you? Hopefully you got better weather than me. Got a little Toyota. Toyotas are a great vehicle. They'll last you forever. Yeah, 3 degrees in Wisconsin. I think it's somewhere around 5 here. Hopefully you're doing all right. Hopefully you ain't snowed in. Yep, yeah, it's mine. Hand me down from my wife, you know. This thing's from the 40s, so a little bit older than that. Just Farmall H. Just lost my left-hand chain. We're going to see if we can push out some snow up on my goose yard. Well, it's got that narrow front end. put them chains on, I tightened them up with baler twine. Not the best maneuver. Yep, we're already spinning. Yeah, it's pretty effective. We'll see if we can push backwards here, maybe not. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah. I'll have to reattach a chain. Good thing I got most of it done. But it's going to be up in the 40s on Wednesday. Probably wait till then to do it. We gotta shovel out my geese though. Well, they definitely don't run on paraffin, I'll tell you that. But no, it's not a diesel, it's a gasser. I actually don't own a diesel tractor at all. Just gonna get my, hey, not much. Same old stuff. The wood stove? Oh, you mean the one that I got sitting kind of where I was plowing? I use that for burnouts for castings. Now, I bet Minnesota is pretty cold. I'm definitely cold here. Yeah, I could barbecue goose on there. That's an H. How much is a small house in South Dakota? A lot more expensive now than it ever was before. You know, you used to be able to come to the towns around where I live and get a nice house. Well, you know, a small house for 30, 40 grand. It's not like that anymore. A lot of people have moved here. Really drove up the housing prices. I had to quick grab a bale of hay. No, it didn't. No, it's, back when COVID was around and all that, a lot of people moved here, Oh man, I bet. The beach sounds pretty nice. I wouldn't mind being there right now. That's just not in the cards for me, though. Actually, though, the sky here don't look too bad today. I mean, there's a little bit of sun. Not a ton of it, but there's some. I'm not positive. I think it's supposed to get down into the like -15 or something. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more bedding up inside this goose hut. This and the other one I got. I cannot believe people run tractors on paraffin. No, I'm definitely not that guy. It's funny. I put all this bedding in here for these geese. I'll bed these things down, these huts. I'll bed them down thick, and they'll still sleep on the ice. I don't get it. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna sleep tonight. Old lady kicked me out, so got a better down, pretty thick. You'd actually be amazed how warm you can get in one of these huts. If I had to, if you threw a tarp over the front of this, I don't think you'd have any problem sleeping in one of these. I've raised all sorts of animals in them. Goats and birds and pigs and shit like that. You'd probably be okay. I mean, I don't think you'd be happy. Oh, you're from Nebraska? Is there more snow coming this way, Jenny? I hope not. That would suck. You can really fit a tremendous amount of birds in here. Huh. Well, I hope it ain't more snow. I hope it ain't ice either. No, I definitely don't need anything from there. I'm in southeast South Dakota. Come on. I'm Ed. How's it going? You know, it's funny, this larger area is usually where my ducks and my cats sleep. And, you know, the small huts, the geese normally go in there. Yeah, let me guess, you saw those out of Allis Chalmers rotobaler? Not too many of them around anymore. But that's what my grandpa used. Used that for many years for baling up alfalfa. It's just mixed grass, you know, mixed prairie grass hay. Nothing special. Yeah, those rotobalers were great machines. Not too many of them in use anymore, but you see them around here every once in a while, but not often. I'm using one of them Ibex mini round balers now. You know, I leave those bales of hay in the corner, you know, just the cores of them. And you'd be amazed between those geese and ducks how much of that hay they'll eat over the winter, you know. Geese, you know, they survive primarily on grass in the summer, and, you know, that switch over to mostly grain in the winter I think is hard on them. But if you've got nice hay around, they'll eat quite a bit of that. I don't know if there's too many other goose producers in the chat here, but yeah, I mean, it'll affect it less. Oh, really? You're in Sao Paulo? Man, I bet you Brazils are pretty nice right about now. You know, I know a square bale, they can't hold up to any rain. I have had some of these round bales I've let sit outside all year long and, you know, get rained on and, you know, exposed to the elements, and the core of the bale will usually be all right. But, you know, when it's sitting on the ground and it's wicking up that moisture, the bottom part of the bale definitely ain't gonna survive. I've got a game cam situated about 1/8 of a mile north from here. My wife wants me to get the SD card out of it, which is gonna be a fun walk. Nice cold walk. I don't know if it'd be easier to walk in this corn stubble. Not really. No, I'm not 1/8 of a mile, not 8 miles. 8 miles would be, you know, that would suck. But 1/8 I think I can pull off. Well, maybe it's a 1/4 mile. I don't know. It's up here a ways, we'll put it that way. Yeah, you really got to have, at least when I stack them, I like to have, you know, 2 sides where I can, you know, kind of a pack an area full. Yeah, no kidding. You could definitely make a snow angel here. There's a lot of tracks around here. I don't know what's been moving through. Mostly pheasants. Sure, they're trying to find corn or whatever else they can get their hands on. I bet the Badlands are nice right about now. You know? Not a day I'd, you know, want to go for a hike, but it might be a nice drive. Shit, you ought to drive through Custer State Park. See what that looks like right now. I'm sure something like this, only full of buffalo. Oh, well, you get out West River quite a bit, so I'm sure you'll get another chance this year. How's it going, Germany? Only rain in Germany. Well, you're lucky. Snow looks nice, but it's not really that fun. Judging by your name, you're from Russia, ain't ya? You should have plenty of snow over where you are. Oh, it's definitely pheasant country. On the way back from this game cam, I'll show you some tracks. So I got this game cam stuck on this potato fork here, and it looks like finally something ate my chicken. I had a chicken, you can see his feathers right here. Yeah, they ate him good. That's the end of that. I had him tied onto this tree here. So that'll make an interesting video, I think. I'm in America, up in the upper Midwest. Really, I thought snow kind of collected on the ground there in Germany every once in a while. Must not be as cold in Germany as I thought. Let's see. Oh, really? Wonder if this thing has any battery left. God, it does. A lot of it. Lucky. How do you like living up at Ellsworth? No snow in the central region of Russia, huh? Are you up by the sea in Germany or something? Yeah, I think South Dakota was probably cooler back then. A lot less people, I bet. There, I finally got my damn glove back on. Oh yeah, it's very cold. It's about as cold as it looks. It's 5 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but pretty cold. Beautiful sunny day though. Here you can see some kind of animal. These are real fresh tracks. I would assume these are all pheasants coming in through here. Rabbit tracks. I'm curious what ate that chicken. It had to be coyotes. Either that or coons, I guess. Nah, no wolves here, just coyotes. Yeah, definitely bunny tracks. I bet you there's coon tracks out here too. Lots of bunnies. I haven't eaten one bunny this year. I keep meaning to. Oh, really? What'd you catch out of there? Yeah, it is beautiful. It makes a pretty scene. You know, when there's snow on the ground and the sun's out. Go over here and see if there's anything. Oh, a lot of walleye? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I don't think the neighbor kids have been running around in here. Maybe. But they don't look like human tracks. I really don't feel like walking through that. But yeah, well, things are changing here too. It's a lot wetter here than it used to be, and a lot more humid, and we have more flooding. You know, and there's good and bad parts of that. They say the growing season might get longer. Oh, there's ice on the stock pond. Definitely. I wouldn't walk to the middle of it yet. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's lots of game in here. I should come out and go hunting. Boy, right here, there's been a lot of stuff. The wind isn't bad today. Normally in South Dakota, it's really windy. Yeah, the game are watching me for sure. These are some good sized tracks. Whatever this was, you know, it had some size to it. Weren't no rabbit. Whatever that was. Yeah, I'm on an acreage here. Yeah, I think we're all gonna get more extreme weather. So, you're not alone, you know. Yeah, you can see, you know, this is the acreage. Yeah, I need to come out here and shoot a few pheasants. That's for sure. God, this snow is hard to walk in. I need some snowshoes or something. This right here is arable land. You can see the corn that was growing on here. This is just for grass. You can see back there where the willows are, that's a creek. And then all this grass is, you know, for hay. Oh, there's a ton of pheasants on this property. There's absolute shitloads of them. Yeah, I'd say about 3/4 of this property is arable, and 1/4 of it you wouldn't want to plant on. It'd just get flooded out. Just about every spring. So it really wouldn't be worth it. No problem. I'm glad to answer your questions. Something small came through here. Don't know what that is. Right now, all I have are ducks, geese, and chickens. I used to be a goat farmer, but you know, I don't do that anymore. And I used to have pigs and some cows. Oh, you used to get pelts, huh? Yeah, pelts ain't worth much anymore, are they? Those times are over. At least around here. Nobody wants to wear fur anymore. Maybe in other places. Well, there you have it. Yes, I am. So, I'm gonna go have myself a cup of tea. Yeah, I'll show you the H. So here's the H. Good old tractor. Nice and reliable. Got the trip arm loader on there. So not the best, but good enough for what I do. Yeah, definitely. And then here, this is the D17 rake tractor. I still use this old rake. You know, I'd like to upgrade it someday, but for now this is fine. And this isn't quite as fixed up as the H, but it's a good tractor. Yeah, I think a lot of people used to have H's. I think they were a very popular tractor for a good long time. And, you know, there's good reason for that. You know, they're reliable. Hello, Bernie. How are you? Yep, take her easy, Jenny. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to go have a cup of tea. This is Southeast South Dakota, buddy. All right, and you guys take her easy. Thanks for watching.